All right, Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the brothers, the apostles, and elders of great millstone that rule well, and salutations to the Akim around the world that pushes truth in sincerity. I want to go through some scriptures here entitled Knowing Your Level of Responsibilities, right? Which is something that people either doesn't pay much attention to or does be quick to forget. All right, so this is Matthew 25. I'll start from 14 and say, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods," right? Because we were delivered goods in terms of like the abilities that we have to be able to look after his household. It said, "Unto one he gave 5 talents, and another 2, and another 1, to every man according to his several ability," right? You gotta forgive me, it's a original word for word King James. "And straightway took his journey," right? So as you'll see, brothers just have different abilities. All of that make up the body of Mashiach. You understand? Some will be able to do more than others. Some will be able to do certain things better than others. That is where it comes to having the talents. Some brothers will have many talents, and they will be on the level of, they might be an elder, might be on the level of apostle, and then they will have some that might just have 2 or 1 talent, and they will be more in the lower ranks. All of that is to help to establish order, and that is mainly because some brothers were just ordained to have more responsibility than others, because not all brothers actually was given the same level of responsibility. As how the scriptures say, "To whom much is given, much is required." So a brother that have more than you, will more be required of him to do. Whereas a brother who don't have much, he wouldn't be required to do as much as another brother. Right? Knowing your level, anybody now, is an important thing, because you can't be a man that have 5 talents and you only using 2 to serve the Most High. You understand? He didn't get 85 to use 2 and put the other 3 in the bank. If a man operating like that because he don't understand his level or his responsibilities, and all these things is something you'll have to pay for if you don't do it. Because if you're capable of doing a certain amount for the Most High and you don't, you have a punishment in store. Because if it was something pertaining to the world or your own desires, you would do it, right? Yesterday's 1 Corinthians 12. I'll start from verse 4. It say, "Now there are diverse gifts, but the same Spirit." Right? It say, "And there are different of administrations, but the same Lord." Right? It say, "And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal." So all of we will have different abilities. You understand? You can't want to watch another brother and tell yourself you want to do what he does do. That is his job. You gotta focus on what your job is. Our scripture also say, "Be not seekers of vainglory, provoking one another and envying one another." Because if that is his level to do, and that is his job given, you can't want to study. You want to do his job. Who will do your job? You understand? And that one of the things that has caused strife between men because they lack the understanding of what their job is. They don't know their level or responsibilities. They're watching somebody else's responsibility and they want to focus on that, not focusing on their own responsibility and what was given to them. And sometimes their level might be easier than our next brother level, but because of vainglory, they might be focusing on they want to look like that brother. And that things like that has caused you to error. Right? We reach verse 7 is say, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal, right? It say, for to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge, but the same Spirit. So you can see how some brothers might be able to retain precepts better than others. When it comes to the memory, they could be good. But when it comes to expulsion or how to breaking things down, they wouldn't be as good as our next brother. And the brother who could break things down real nice, he mightn't be able to remember precepts as good as the one who was given knowledge. But all of them does work towards the same body. And the Messiah made it in a way that everybody had different gifts that they have to work with all the other brothers. You understand? It's not like back in the days of Jeremiah, them used to have everything they needed. Now he break it up between the brothers because everybody had to be able to work together. So all that goes back to knowing your level and knowing your responsibility on the chain. How the scriptures say um, the hand shouldn't want to be the foot, and the foot shouldn't want to be the hand. You understand? If it had four hands and no feet, what would I go on? If it had 4 feet and no hands, what would I go on? So knowing your level is important. And it's not like if because you might be on a lower level, that means you're less important. That doesn't mean that. It just means that in this lifetime, as much wasn't required of you than it was from another brother that have more gifts. You understand? All that goes back to knowing your level and knowing your responsibilities. It said to another faith by the same Spirit, and another the gift of healing by the same Spirit. Right? It say to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, because that spiritual discernment is one gift you should always ask for. You see, to be able to discern good and evil, if you already have spiritual discernment on a certain level, you will find yourself getting into a lot of trouble. So that's always that gift is always a gift to pray and ask the Most High for, to be able to discern good and evil. Right, discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. So for the brothers who will know, they might have 5 talents or 6 talents and they're not using all the talents the way they're supposed to. They gotta check themselves. That means they don't understand the level that they're on. They had to know here what going on. Time running out. And the Mosai didn't give you to be able to not use it according to how it's supposed to be. Because the scriptures say, it's that he that had and do it not, it's that from him it is taken away. You wouldn't want the Mosai to actually take away your gifts and give it to somebody else who might actually be more willing to use it. But all this comes from understanding first. It's like how the scripture does say. It said to he that have ears to hear, let him hear. The understanding must always come first. So if you know that you have certain abilities the Most High give you to actually do His work, don't be slack with it. It's not something difficult. You have a job to do, the same as everybody else. But everybody had different levels on their job. You have to understand what your level is and what your responsibility is, and you have to work with that. Don't put it off and put it off and not do. And then when the Most High start to put you off, you'll cry. You will cry. Especially if you do it like Saul and you know that he put you off, you'll cry. Right? So, really and truly, you see as how time's getting, you're actually seeing things happening. If you know that you have abilities the Most High gave you to fulfill the work, it's not something difficult. Because if it was too difficult for you, you wouldn't have the ability to do it. As you say, you don't gain nothing you can handle. So if you have ability to be able to fulfill something, you don't have much time to do it. You never even know when is the last chance you have to do it. You understand? And with that, I'd like to give our praises honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule Well, and salutations to the Akim around the world that pushes truth in sincerity. Shalom.